Here we are. So I have Belén Velez with me, who is my dear friend from, I met her first through our full body flowology course that we take with our other friend, Janet Marquez. And I fell in love with Belén because she's a fiery, passionate mama like I am, who has become a hugely fierce advocate for her son and his health, the way that I've had to do for my kids and our health. So that was really our common bond. And Belén invited me, actually in Flowology, when you were doing a treatment, you shared part of your story that I had never heard before about just how much you have overcome by your diet and lifestyle changes that you made. And some of it I had no clue, even though we've known each other for a couple years now. And I've been like praying and, asking and manifesting to do a cleanse before I offer to do a cleanse with my people in my course. I wanted to do a cleanse and be supported in it and be like on the receiving end to know what it felt like. And then I messaged Belén and said, hey, tell me about what you did. And then she invited me to do a cleanse, not even realizing that that's exactly what I'd been praying for. So I invited Belén to come and share with us about the cleanse she and her friends are offering, and have graciously invited me and invited us to join. So take it away, Belén.
Hey, Nicole. Thank you for the awesome introduction.
You're welcome.
So yeah, we were doing flowology, and again, that's a program created by Janet Marquez, and Nicole and I are both studying to be instructors, which means that we will be able to, once we're done with this round of teaching, we will be able to go ahead and not only perform the treatment on people, but we will be able to teach them how to do this for themselves. So one of the classes that I did was on the doer protection, which is kind of like your chakra meridian, which has a lot to do with your digestive system. I mean, your chakra meridian, your solar plexus chakra. And it has a lot to do with your digestive system. And this is something that I've been working with my son for the last 8 years. And then on myself, almost just as long. So I had to like think about that one. So my son was diagnosed with autism at 18 months. He was diagnosed pre-diabetic for type 1 diabetes. His A1C registered at 6.0, and the doctor told me he would be diabetic within 6 to 12 months maximum. He was later diagnosed with hypothyroidism. He was later diagnosed with SIBO, which is small intestinal bacterial overgrowth, and with leaky gut. And we were also found out that he's compound for MTHFR mutation, and he has numerous food allergies and intolerances. So eating at our house is very interesting. After he was diagnosed with some of these things, and like I started working with him directly, I was diagnosed with neurosarcoidosis, which mimics MS. It's a really rare condition, which I have inflammation, and it's like an autoimmune disorder like MS that attacks my brain and my central nervous system and my spinal column. So it's a really life-threatening disorder, and I was told that this is something I'm going to have, and it's going to be degenerative. As a result of that, I've also suffered from optic neuritis, but when I really look at my health history, I started with migraines at 10. I was later diagnosed with ulcers. A few months after that, I was diagnosed with a sun allergy in my 20s. I have numerous food intolerances, on top of the neurosarcoid and the optic neuritis. So looking at my health history, it makes sense that I've been toxic for a while. And also thinking about it, everything changed when I was 10 years old because my dad passed away, and I had emotional trauma over that. And my mom was a stay-at-home mom until the age of 10. And at that point, like, she was, a Whole Foods cooker. We had, like, rabbit stew, and, I'm Latina, so we ate, like, roasted goat on the spigot and stuff like that. And, like, my dad would, like, bring home, ducks and kill them. And we had chicken in the backyard. We always had fresh eggs. And sometimes, like, I'd go through through the basement door to go to the backyard, and the chicken would be hanging, and we'd have, like, pollo guisado that night for dinner and stuff like that. So growing up until I was 10, we always had fresh food. We didn't have processed food or, like, supermarket style food. But then when my dad passed away, my mom went back to school. She went, she had to do her GED. She went to get her bachelor's degree and then her master's degree, and then she became a bilingual teacher. And, unfortunately, it was in my school system, but that's a whole different trauma. But during that time, I started eating processed foods and fast foods and all of that. So all of that has attributed to my own health history. And then I gave that also to my son when he was born. So that's all been part of how we got here and how I ended up so sick. So, at a certain point, I was very accepting of my diagnosis. And then another life event happened where I found myself as a single mom, and I became angry. And I was like, well, hell no, I'm not going anywhere. I'm sticking around. So I became very proactive with my own health care. And that meant changing my food, changing my house, changing, my environment, changing the people who were around me, the things that I put into my body, the things that I, allowed to cross the threshold into my home, and taking a really hard look at how I was nourishing, my environment, my body, my mind, and my spirit. And all of that became, I had to purge and detoxify a lot of it. And it started with food. And then essential oils became a part of it with the cleansing. And then that grew into supplementing and detoxifying as a whole unit. And when I got sick, I was on really heavy hitter medicines, and I gained a lot of weight. I was up to 200 pounds. And, my body that was already toxic was now being bombarded with all of these synthetic pharmaceuticals. And basically, I blew up. And anybody who's been on prednisone, either because of bronchitis or the flu, has asthma or some other, autoimmune disorder, the first thing you get is chipmunk cheeks, and then you get the hump in your back, and then you get all of the weight and the water retention, and it causes a lot of damage. I had to be tested for my liver function, my kidney function. It can cause high blood pressure. It can cause diabetes. It can cause heart disease. I mean, it's a really ugly disease, medicine, but it helps with so many different, off-label ways in minimizing your symptoms. The problem is it doesn't cure anything. It just puts a Band-Aid over it, and it allows you to forget how bad something is. So once I started detoxing, it was basically, I was supporting my immune system and helping it get rid of all the sludge. Like, imagine you're trying, like, you want to take a bath, but your bathtub is full of all of this junk that you can't, like, you have to, like, say you have, old boxes in there, you have some clothes in there, stuff that does not belong in there. Not even like bath water, bath toys. You have stuff that has no business being in there. That's what my liver and my body was like. Like, I had crap in there. I had no idea where it came from. It's like other people came and was like, here, oh, I'm not using this. Let me dump it in there. It became that closet that when you open it, it just showered all over you. And that's what's supporting your immune system. That's what's protecting your body from getting sick. So when you're, you know, when you're toxic and it's overloaded and it doesn't know what else to do, like it just basically is like, I give up. And everything happens. So I started detoxing, and I am glad to say that after 5 years of being diagnosed, going through different levels of medicines, not knowing what would work, being in and out of the hospital, having 4 serious relapses where, you know, I had to be I needed medical intervention to recover from. Almost losing my vision 4 times, 4 separate incidents of losing my vision. One to the point where I was not allowed to drive and they were going to report me to the state. And I begged them. I was like, I'll do whatever, just don't report me. Because once they take away your license, that's it. Like you have to literally prove. And because I have a degenerative disorder, I could have lost it forever. And, you know, some really serious side effects. I was waking up with pain for over a year. I knew I was alive because everything hurt as soon as I got up. You know, as soon as I opened my eyes, it was just like I had a massive headache, and I like envisioned myself like that cartoon frog, because if I leaned forward too much, and it could be like the slightest like, oh, what's that? And just leaning, I felt like my eyes would literally pop out of my head from the pressure. And people aren't supposed to live like that. That's not living. That's not, I couldn't even function. I couldn't think. I couldn't, you know, like there was times that my son would hug me and I would cringe because my skin felt like it was on fire. And that is just, it's sad and it's terrible. And it's not how, you know, like I didn't want my son to grow up thinking that, you know, mom was always sick. So that is, Janet did cleanse because she was having a hard time losing baby weight post-pregnancy, and she, you know, was able to have breakthroughs because of the cleanse and with flowology and with the oils, and it really clicked for her. And decided, like all this time she's been telling me, you need to make your own program. You need to make your own program, and I just didn't know how to do it. And just like I can talk all day, but just, you know, I'm shiny object, like, oh yeah, let's do this. So she decided that she was going to do this program and that she was going to recruit people to help her do this program. And that was her direction. She's like, this is what I envision and this is what's going to happen. And if you know Janet at all, you have to, she's, you know, 4'11", she's the little Spitfire. God bless her soul, because what she did not get in height, she's got it in spunk. And she's like, this is what I got downloaded. This is what, you know, Spirit told me. God has got a plan for us, and this is what we're going to do. So you kind of got to go along regardless if you're with the, you know, you're in the flow, you're not in the flow, whatever, you're jumping in the boat and you're just taking a ride. So, and it's, you know, from what I've seen, it's turned out really good. We are doing a 4-week program, a 28-day program. We're including food plans, support systems. It's, you know, one of the biggest things for any detox or diet plan is doing it alone and not having an accountability person to help you through the hard times. Because as easy as it is to do something, it's as easy not to do it. And like, we're there to help you. We're there to remind you. Like at this point, all the moderators of the cleanse have gone through a version of this cleanse. So we know what, you know, and we're also going to, I know for myself, I'm going to do it. And I believe Duka is going to do it also, as we're going through this every week. So you're going to get real life interaction. You're going to get alternatives. You're going to get explanations on why, so that you can understand what's happening, why it's happening, what, you know, could contribute to this, so that once you finish with this program, you have all of this information to understand how to keep going and make changes that will impact you long term. We're also looking at doing a post cleanse follow up on, like, you know, different food suggestions, how you keep going. You know, Penny's also being a part of it. You will meet her if you join us. She's great with blood type suggestions. She knows the blood type diet. So if you're eating something and you're struggling with it, you know, she will be the first one to be like, "What's your blood type? Oh yeah, you can't have that. That's not working for you. That's why that's why your system's sluggish, or that's why it's not, you know, settling for you." So I'm really excited about this, and I have done a cleanse. I don't know how many. Actually, I don't. I'm gonna lie if I give you a number. But when I first focused on getting off of pharmaceuticals, I did a cleanse every 3 months for over a year and a half, for about a year and a half. So I did at least 6 cleanses back to back every 3 months so that I could get off of pharmaceuticals. Now, you have to understand that if you are sick, if you have an autoimmune disorder, if you have a phantom disorder where doctors are saying, I don't know what it is, but, you know, it's probably you're depressed or you're just tired or you'll get over it, something like that. You've been building up toxins for a while, and it's not going to happen overnight. So the purpose of what I want to contribute to this is a long-term plan so that you have tools in your arsenal to help you forward when you decide that, you know, I'm feeling that I need this again. You're going to have these tools and the knowledge to go forward and do it yourself. So I hope that you know, I don't know if you have any questions, if I covered everything, but, you know, I hope I see you guys in the group.
Yes, and it'll be awesome because we'll make friends with each other and be able to keep supporting each other. And like when the little beasties start to die off and they start kicking up a ruckus and saying, we're dying, we're starving, you're starving. Like, we aren't dying, we aren't starving, they are. And so just to be able to support that emotionally with our oils and with each other, and then even after the 28 days to continue to support each other. And like Belén said, we'll have food suggestions so we know how to not keep creating inflammation in our bodies, because one person's health food can be another person's toxin or poison. And so just being able to really tailor it to ourselves, learn how to listen to our own bodies, which I love this so much because I wrote a course called Living Lighter, and it comes at it from more like an emotional weight loss perspective, because when, like Belén said, you know, I had already had all this toxicity, and just like she had a life event that then just because of the anger and the emotion and the grief just shut everything down, and she gained a bunch of weight. I had a similar thing, you know, a life event where everything came to a head and my whole body completely shut down, and I was on pharmaceuticals as well. And you know, we have different details, but it was very similar, and our livers were toxic, and so, and the rest of our body as well. And I had done several doTERRA cleanses and had a lot of success, ended up losing 30 of the 50 pounds that I had gained. So I gained 50 pounds in a year. I was like, that's like a pound a week. And I'm 5'3", and I was 201 pounds when I was 37. So this wasn't that long ago. I'm 40 now. And in the course of that, it's been this healing journey of learning how to support my body and my emotions and my spirit with oils, with changing my beliefs around all kinds of things, and really learning how to release and forgive, and then support our bodies the way that they were designed so that they can heal the way they were designed. So I'm super thrilled to have Belén and Janet and the other ladies support me in a cleanse. And I'm so thrilled to invite all of you. So if I invited you, when Janet offers like free oil drawings and things like that, I'll be doing that for the people that I invited, because we are cross-line friends. And then we'll all support everybody in the Facebook group and things like that. So it's going to be a really interactive, really fun, fun way to do this. Maybe taking something that isn't always so fun to do and doing it together is going to be so much more successful. So.
And I just want to stress that the actual program is free. So I am not affiliated with Nicole. I mean, outside of us being friends and, you know, partners in different groups and different programs. So don't think that I'm pitching to you to make a buck off of you. The program is completely free. You do need to work with Nicole to order your products to be eligible to be part of the group, but all of that is explained in our intro class. But as far as actually being in the class and the 28-day program and all of the food suggestions and the menus and the recipes and the additional education, none of that, you're not getting charged for any. There's no hidden costs in this. This is, us, Janet deciding that this was what she was going to do with her team, recruiting people along the way and seeing talents and saying, you're going to do this for, and I'm really happy to be a part of this. I can talk about food and diet and the body all day long. And this is really where I flourish. So if you have questions, feel free to ask. Don't be embarrassed. Don't be ashamed. Our bodies respond entirely different for different people, but I'm sure that, collectively, somebody has experienced what you're going through, or we can explain what you're going through to help you not be discouraged and decide to stop.
Yeah, and if nothing else, Janet can look at the bottom of your feet and tell you exactly what's going on. We can connect in energetically and be like, it's this. So it's going to be really fun.
So, yeah, and, I really want people to understand that this is coming from a place of wanting to help people understand and learn. Because my areas that I want to help is with special needs children, especially, or families that are blessed with a special needs child, but they have their own challenges, and anybody with chronic illness or autoimmune disorders, because that's what, collectively is going on in my home. So, and the gut has everything to do with all of those diagnoses, and helping to support your gut and eventually have it heal because it's being fed the right things, because it's being supported in the right way, because the right bacteria are being reintroduced to it, because of the right mindset, because of the right, chemicals in your home and stuff like that. All of this is all like layers of an onion that will help you eventually get to the point where your body can function on its own again and begin to heal.
Yay! So how can people find you, Belén, and join this cleanse? They reach out to the person who invited them?
Yep, talk to the person who invited you. In this case, you would speak to Nicole. And Nicole will have also, I sent her a flyer with our last 2 classes. We've already done 2 classes for the cleanse. The last 2 classes are this coming Monday, the 6th. I have to look it up. Sorry, I'm so terrible this way. Monday the 6th at 7 p.m. Mountain Time, and Thursday the 9th at 7 p.m. Mountain Time. There is a Eventbrite that you have to register to get all of the Zoom information. The intro class is free, so you don't need like any credit card information or anything when you do the Eventbrite. It's basically a way for us to track whoever's interested, and it does say who referred you as one of the questions. So there's a small questionnaire. So then if you say, like if you register and you don't make it to the class, we can send you the recording. And also if you write Nicole referred you, then we would refer it back to Nicole, and Nicole could follow up with you as well. The actual first class that we're going to begin week 1 information distribution is going to be on Saturday, January 11th, which is next Saturday. And that is for meal plan for the week 1 meal plan, an introduction to the detox program, and the stuff that you'll have the opportunity to, like your grocery list, your recipes and stuff like that. The actual cleanse will start on Monday, the 13th. But we're doing the first class for it on Saturday so that you can go food shopping. You can, if you want to prep your meals in advance, you have the weekends to do it, so that Monday doesn't come and it catches you by surprise and you're not ready to begin. And if you, there are supplements and stuff that we will ask you to order and that you would go through Nicole to order. I have nothing to do with that. I have nothing to do with any of your ordering. So, but you can work that out with Nicole, and that way you can get the most out of this cleanse.
Awesome.
And, we'll help you understand and learn more about the products and more about your body and why things react certain ways, why a certain part of, like, why certain foods are introduced at certain times, how they support a different part of your body or different system, and treat it as a whole body, because doctors pick and choose what system they want to work with. Like your cardiologist only works with your heart but doesn't look at your brain health, your gut health, or even the skin on your feet. So, which can, like looking at the skin on your feet can indicate if you have yeast overgrowth, which might affect candida in your mouth, which might affect your gingivitis, which will create more bacteria, which will affect your heart. So it's all connected, but, our doctors nowadays don't treat it that way.
Yeah, they're not taught to do that. They're taught to specialize.
Yep. So we're going to
It's great if you need a surgeon, but not so great when you need an overall diagnostic. So we're going to show you how to listen to your own body and let it tell you what it needs.
Absolutely. So I hope to see you there. And
yes.
Then we'll help you with that information. And then you can follow me on Instagram at Not What the Doctor Ordered. I am now doing 100 days of wellness. So there are little snippets of easy ways that you can help support your body and in achieving wellness. And like today's was drink water, and a lot of people like don't think about drinking water, and they're like, oh, like I have water in my juice, or there's water in my tea, but sometimes your body just needs straight water, and it helps support so many functions and so many systems. And little things like that is what I want to start introducing every day for the next 100 days. So if you want to take a peek at my life, my son's life, and things that we do on a day-to-day basis, feel free to follow me. And that's also a good way to get in touch with me. You can message me through there. Like I'm really hard to find on Facebook, but if you find me on Facebook, I'm always willing to accept a friend. Shoot me a message, say, hey, I'm on Nicole's tribe, and I'd love to connect, and I'm always happy to do that.
Yeah, and this is going to be really great for people who are looking for answers for, autoimmune things. We have a lot of us in the unicorn tribe have kids on the spectrum, or kids with, non-neurotypical diagnoses, and lots of us have a trauma background that we share in some way. And so this is going to be so incredibly awesome. And even just learning that the way we can cope with those catastrophic events in our life is directly correlated to our detoxification pathways and how clear they are to help us process, versus like it all gets stored in our body as trauma because it has nowhere to go. And so this is going to be incredibly powerful on so many levels. And I'm so grateful that you're doing this. So thank you. Thanks for inviting us.
Oh, I'm happy to have you guys. So come on board. I expect to see all of you.
Awesome. And I'll put the links to all this in this thread. So.
Awesome.
Yep. All right. We'll talk to you next. The next intro class that explains the cleanse is the 6th, and then there's another one the 9th, and then we actually meet together on the 11th to get everything we need lined up over the weekend and start the cleanse on Monday the 13th.
Yep. So I hope to see you guys all I hope to see you on Monday or on Thursday at an intro class. So, and if you cannot make it to the intro class, register. We'll send you the recording.
Yeah, and there's so much valuable information. You'll get a feel for all the amazing ladies that are a part of this and already really feel like you're in a tribe of awesome, awesome women. And you get a little taste of my favorite flowology friends. So you're gonna love it. All right.
Yeah.
Thank you so much.
Thank you for inviting me, Nicole.
You're welcome. Thank you for agreeing to do this.
Oh, my pleasure. Bye, guys.